Right, if you want the best roast potatoes you ever had, don't season them before you roast them. And if you feel like your roast potatoes are never that crispy, listen carefully. You can season before you roast, but a lot of that seasoning will be lost in the oil or will burn before they're done, especially any herbs you use. You also don't need semolina or any gimmicks. Grab yourself some high quality potatoes. Some varieties are better than others for roasting, but honestly it's all good. Heavily salt a pot of water. I'm not sure this is as much for flavour as it is drawing moisture out of the potatoes and ensuring they're as dry as possible, so they crisp up as much as possible. Turn the heat up and let it boil. While you wait, grab yourself a high-sided baking tray that's big enough for all of your potatoes. You don't want it to be too crowded, and throw in the fat of your choice. I'm using beef dripping. Whatever you use, you want it to come about a third of the way up the side of your potatoes. I like to turn my oven up as hot as it'll go, partly for speed and partly because I want that fat to be as hot as it possibly can be and maintain that heat. When your water is boiling, throw in your peeled and chopped potatoes. They have to be peeled because the skin traps the moisture in and will stop them getting as crispy as they otherwise could. We're not trying to part boil these, we're trying to fully cook them. So they're done when they're almost falling apart, but not quite. Strain them, return them to the pan and give them a bit of a roughing up. You want to almost form a layer of mash on the outside. Now, if you want these to be the best they possibly can, you should have done this the day before you cooked them. Leaving them overnight in the fridge will crystallize the starch molecules and ensure they dry out as much as possible. Throw them into the hot oil, quickly put the tray back in the oven and time 10 minutes. Once 10 minutes has passed, grab them back out and flip them all over. Repeat this, dropping to 5 minutes as they get closer to cooking until they're perfectly crispy. Remove them from the oven, throw them into a bowl and season liberally with salt and any other seasonings you might add while they're still hot.